It was down.
Well, I can't start.
What time is Thursday? At the food bank? Thursday where? At the food bank?
Yeah,
Not Thursday. Okay, gotcha. It's a Tuesday, next month. Oh, okay, we're good. I thought it was
It's a 4:30.
and May 12th? Right, because it's not a Tuesday, we're here. Right.
I'm going to Friday, on Friday.
Okay, good.
I'm going on.
I'll look on my phone after.
For my
It's the
I don't know
19th.
how to do all that.
I remember now, sorry. I'm really definitely a Tuesday.
Oh, it's
No,
It's very
like down
informal.
on
The meeting part is really short.
There's like
I felt very
we're
underdressed
trying
on
to get
Thursday. Oh, I had no idea what level it was gonna be.
Yeah, we're going to look one. Then we're going to have it in Selmo.
It's growing everywhere.
I never thought of it.
Very well
Nobody
done.
find me.
The breakfast, the
You hear that?
Legitimacy
All
Foundation
women.
breakfast
They're
fundraiser.
what we're calling it.
It was very
Call
educational.
me
Yeah.
before the first.
1 dozen Calmar donuts,
Nothing out there.
$1,000.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty.
All right, are we ready to go?
Area 29,
At your discretion, sir. All right, 5:30, I'd like to call the regular council meeting for April the 28th to order. First order of business on the agenda, call for pecuniary interest. I don't believe there's anything. We've got a couple of on-camera things, items, closed session, sorry, but nothing in there. So we'll move to the agenda. Are there any deletions or additions? Anybody have anything in there?
Sorry, do we have to add that extra income?
If not, can I get a motion to accept the agenda as is?
I'll accept that as is.
Thank you. All in favor? And that is carried. All right, we'll go to the adoption of the previous minutes. Minutes to be approved. The regular minutes for March the 24th, the April 14th land use public hearing minutes, and April 14th committee of the whole. Are there any errors or omissions?
I'll motion to accept those as is.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. All right, first order of business. Presentation, Thorsby Municipal Library Financial Reviewer Authorization. I don't see Rita here.
No, that's me.
You're just gonna do it?
Yeah, all that the library board is looking for is just flat out permission to go ahead and switch to Rita as the provider for the review. So there was the letter attached that Tavia did, who is the treasurer, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
So just looking for approval from the board to go ahead and switch to her. Financially, it's less, and there was a fairly large wait time last year to get things back.
All right.
Also, there was
Some errors.
errors.
Yes. But Rita has done for Telfordville Hall and
Yeah.
Communities of Bloom, so that was the.
I saw her. She was at the SES. She's been a long-time resident, I
Yeah.
know Rita as well.
So that is just what we're bringing.
cheaper.
And she is cheaper, yeah.
Yep.
So, that is,
Anybody have any comments or questions?
She is
If not-
thorough, I know that.
Pardon me?
She is thorough, I
Is
know
she?
that.
Okay,
And
that's
she'll
great.
Wrap your knuckles if you don't have it right.
That's good.
Well, there.
Oh, because you have from Communities of Bloom?
yeah.
I hear her.
Can I get a
She
motion
recommended her, so. Yeah.
to approve Rita Power as the financial viewer for the Thorsby Municipal Library?
Can I make the motion since I brought it forward?
Yes.
Okay, then I do motion to please approve Rita Powers as the new reviewer.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried.
There's no S on power,
Okay.
it's just power.
It's just ours.
All right. New business. 8.1, Yellowhead Regional Library and Municipal Levy Increase. Donna, you want to see it, Donna? You want to talk about that, or you want to?
I certainly can with support from Councilor Reynolds, he's the representative. They're proposing an increase to the municipal levy in 2027, which will support services in all libraries across our partner municipalities, and this, of course, affects Thorsby Library. So the current 2026 levy at $485 per capita is currently $4,689.95 per year. Proposed levy is $560 per capita, would raise Thorsby at its current census population to $5,415.20 per year, starting in 2027. It should be noted, as long as Yellowhead Regional receives written notification of approval from 2/3 of their partner municipalities, the cost increase applies to all municipalities regardless, so that's in their their bylaws. Municipalities are asked to notify Yellowhead Regional by July 30th regarding their decision and provide a written copy of the resolution. And of course, you have with you the letter and their case for investment, which is their sustainable library funding, their annual report, which I won't go through. And I'll certainly refer to Councillor Kevin, as he's the board representative for it.
So they haven't increased this levy in 5-6 years, and they want to bring it up to par.
So this is for 2027, so we'll have time to put it into our budget. It's not affecting this year at all.
No, I haven't.
Right.
They're just trying to bring it, like I said,
Yeah.
everything up to par. They've let it go and let it go and let it go and let it go, so now
Yeah, makes sense.
which makes sense, so.
Okay, anybody have any other questions? I guess we'll have to still, they got some sample forms here that we'd have to fill out for the motion, okay?
I trust they wouldn't be asking for it if they didn't need it.
No.
So if you're looking 75 cents, so yeah, $4,700 here, I get it, okay. All right, somebody would like the motion to accept the 2027 increase?
I'll move to accept the 2027 increase
All in favor?
of IRL.
All right, carried. All right, 8.2, Thorsby wheat. This is interesting. So Donna, you want to run us through that one there?
I sure can, and this was a fluke, actually. It's kind of interesting, but happened to be reading something. You know, how did you just kind of motion through something and found an obituary of a former Thorsby resident, Dean Michael Spanner, who, very smart guy, has worked around the world, highly educated. He built the U of A wheat breeding program over the next decades into a major contributor to Canadian agriculture. It kind of makes me cranky that they're shutting down all these research stations like Lacombe and so forth, right? Because this is where this kind of stuff comes from. His program developed over 15 new varieties of wheat, including an early maturing disease-resistant variety known as Thorsby, named after the Alberta town where his parents met and now grown on farms throughout northern Alberta. As a farm kid, this is, to me, it's quite exciting actually, because you do want an early maturing wheat. You want a disease-resistant variety because it saves on spray. And the Thorsby wheat family, its formal Latin name is Triticum asbestium. It's early maturing variety with unique rust protection, because wheat is prone to rust and it makes it no good, and consistent yield across the prairies. All of our farmers here grow in the region, matures early without sacrificing yield potential, has a broad geographic fit and an excellent rust resistance with novel sources of protection. So what novel sources of protection mean is bug resistant, frost resistant, and that sort of thing. It's also got a larger head with shorter beards. Now the next, we've included Dean's obituary as a tribute to him, but former Mayor Phyllis put in something about it, because as I was talking to her, she was talking to me, and some of his family taught her in school here in Thorsby. So this is former Mayor Phyllis's words. Even after his diagnosis with a particularly aggressive form of cancer, he still spent his last year traveling to the Caribbean to assist with ag programs sponsored by the World University Service of Canada and visiting grad students in China. His last months were a struggle, but his last hours were spent surrounded by loving family, friends, prayers, and clever music played by Sarah's husband, Graham. Celebration of his life will be held at a later date, and donations in his memory can be made to World University Service of Canada, Nature Conservancy of Canada, or a charity of one's choice. Remember, Dean, when you next take a bite of slice of bread, or when you eat your porridge, chances are you may be chewing on wheat his team developed. His cousin Mark wrote about Dean: if a man's worth is measured by what he leaves behind, then it's truly a rich man whose memory blooms every spring in fields across the Canadian prairies. Okay. And from New Zealand to Trinidad, the world is a better place for you having walked its fields, my brother. Pretty important. So we have a Thorsby wheat, so we will put this on our website. And Phyllis also said that you know, we should be proud that something so special has our name attached to it, and that Dean thought that Thorsby was so important to his life and named it so. It'd be kind of fun to put some wheat sheaths of Thor's hands in the park.
Do we have any farmers around here that grow the Thorsby
yeah.
wheat?
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Maybe we could get some to make a little display with it.
Yeah, we certainly could. He's a highly educated guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I say, when Phyllis told me that some of his family had taught her in school, it's pretty amazing. And they raised 5 children. The family had consisted of 2 teachers, 4 doctors, and 1 nurse. That's pretty impressive. And when you think about all the wheat varieties that are named, Thorsby wheat with its variety, its different way of growing, its hardiness to central Alberta. So basically from, I would say, Peace River South to probably Penhold Olds, Thorsby wheat is grown. Isn't that cool? So I thought I'd bring it to council's attention. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's nice it's proclaimed in our council meeting, and I think it'd be nice, we'll put it on their website, and might be interesting, you're right, Councillor, or Mr. Racer, Councillor Roderick, to have some sort of maybe display here in the office.
Just for, I mean, not forever, but so people can see it.
Yeah, and understand it.
Yeah.
People don't even know it existed. I did not.
Okay, and I mean, people who live in town, a lot of them are not farmers
No.
or anything. So it might, you know, maybe not even here, maybe down at the complex.
Yeah, I think it'd be the best place for it,
So
actually.
people could,
Yeah.
I could see more of it.
Thorsby wheat.
that they could see what's going on.
Oh, 110%. Sorry, I get a bit emotional because I'm a farm kid. Pretty important stuff. So I guess for our recommendation, through motion of council, that Dean Spanner be recognized in council for his incredible contribution to agriculture, the success of wheat growers with this variety, and perhaps a display honoring his life in the rec center.
Okay. Anybody have any further discussion on this?
No, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's very commendable.
Okay. All right. Got a motion to that effect, please.
Oh, man. I will motion to, what's that? Oh, there we go.
Bottom line.
I will motion that Dean Spencer be recognized in the council for his incredible contribution, as well as put a display at the rec center.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried.
I have a question. When you motion it, are you also supposed to raise your hand? Is that all in favor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or jump up and down if you're excited.
I have a friend that runs the McEwen fertilizer out there at 39 there, where we got the grass here. I'm gonna give this to him and see if he can add maybe he might be able to
I
get
think
some more
that's
information.
Yeah, 100% cool.
I'll pass it on to him.
This is sorry, I know we're past the thing, but when you understand agriculture research, and you understand that they're trying to always have new varieties so that they can get rid of more pesticides and varieties that are very responsive to our weather patterns. And when you see this man develop this wheat, and it has a good yield, it has longer stalks, more robust leaves, and we're using it here, it's named after us. I think it's pretty cool. So what we might do is put something in the paper for next week, and we might just send a lovely little press release to the county, because they're probably the farmers that are growing it, so.
Cool. Well, how many people didn't know about it? I didn't know about it.
I didn't either, didn't have a clue.
I would say a lot of great things come out of Thorsby or are in.
Well, like maybe we should promote like this.
Yeah.
It's great.
So it's
Well-
a hidden gem.
Well, it gives us impetus too. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. Actually, I'm saying we probably should. I almost think we should write a letter to our MP indicating the importance of the agriculture, the agronomist research stations that are being closed across Canada. I really do think so. There's lots. Most of them are going to be gone. And when you think about what they contribute, it's not just varieties of wheat, barley, and oats, and canola, and all that kind of stuff. It's also about different agriculture with animals, too. It's not just the plants. It's everything to do with ag. And soil sampling and soil testing and how do you rotate crops, all those kinds of things. And to shut them down without even considering that the bulk of Alberta grows the most canola in the world, and that's 80% of China's crop. We sell to China. That's canola. And when they start fiddling with stuff like this, it is not conducive to supporting new and better ways of agriculture. So probably should have asked for 2 resolutions, but if you're okay informally, I can send it back for you, bring an email. I'll write a letter, send it to all you email, you can approve it, and send it to our MP.
Can we send this to the rep?
Yep, of course,
Might as well get it in
yep.
the due.
Well,
Yeah.
Connect 39,
Well, Connect 39, but that's what promoting.
Oh, yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure, the rest too, but.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
Thanks for indulging a farm kid.
So do we need to make a resolution on that or no?
No, I'll just send it to you for
Okay.
taking a look.
Okay, 9.1, bylaw 2026-03, consolidation bylaw. Would you like to give us some background on that, Sarah?
We can, with our administrative review that happened in 2020, end of 2024, 2025, the provincial government's auditor indicated that we did not have a bylaw consolidation bylaw. So that was part of our 4 or 5 things that we had to complete to be able to pass all the things that they wanted us to do. So the Municipal Government Act also allows us to do this, to create a bylaw enabling a council to authorize the chief administrative officer and the designee to consolidate bylaws. What this means is this. During our map review, it was identified that council requires this bylaw to make insubstantial changes such as fixing a typographical or clerical error. And since this administration has come to the town of Thorsby, no consolidation bylaw has ever occurred or was necessary. However, it may become necessary in the future as the municipality grows. Now, if I take you into the bylaw, part of the bylaw, in Part 3 General, it gives the CAO authority to consolidate one or more of the bylaws of the town of Thorsby as provided for in the MGA in accordance with this bylaw. A consolidated bylaw prepared under this authority will clearly state in the bylaw header that it is a consolidated version. So, in other words, our big land use bylaw, instead of correcting it all the time, we consolidate and we have to note the consolidation events.
Right.
In the land use bylaw, but we don't change the land use bylaw itself. Must identify the original bylaw number and all amending bylaw numbers included. Allows us to omit and provide for the repeal of a bylaw or provision of a bylaw that is of a transitional nature or that has no general application through the entire municipality. So sometimes in a bylaw, you find some stuff that's obsolete in it. Instead of killing the whole bylaw, you consolidate the parts that are obsolete out of it, and that's your consolidation. The original bylaw stays the same. The stuff you take out is in the consolidation piece. It also allows us to combine, divide, or move portions from one or more bylaws to another and create a bylaw from another, 1 or 2 more others. So let's just say we had a dog bylaw, a cat bylaw, and a rabbit bylaw, and they're all separate. We can consolidate those under this bylaw as well. You keep the originals, but you consolidate them on such and such a date into a small animal control bylaw, for example. It allows us to alter the citation and titles of a bylaw and the number and arrangements of its provisions. So in other words, we can renumber if we need to, because when you pull something out, you may want to renumber something. It can correct clerical, grammatical, or typographical errors, make changes without changing the substance of the bylaw to bring more clearly what's the meaning of the bylaw, or to improve the expression of the law. So laws can change, and if we did some of our bylaws and had a legal look at some of the paragraphs, not the whole things, but there's certain things that in the future we'll probably have to look at, then we could change the legalese in the bylaw, in other words, the severability or the enforcement of it to meet current changes. And unless restricted by legal, case law, or other means, consolidating or revising bylaw provisions respecting any and all matters within the jurisdiction of the town into a general bylaw. So each consolidation bylaw must contain a statement certifying that it is a consolidation of the original bylaw and all amendments. The chief administrative officer and or designate shall maintain a record of the original signed bylaws and all amendments as adopted by council. So all the amendments have to attach to that original bylaw, and they're for reference purposes only and do not change the substance of the bylaw as approved by council. Okay, that's the original bylaw. And in the event of a discrepancy between the consolidated bylaw and the original and amendments, the original bylaw and amendment shall prevail. So it gives us a little latitude to do some changes without all this repealing of bylaw and making new bylaws and all that sort of stuff. And if you look at some of the land use bylaws in other municipalities, you'll see under some of the paragraphs, repealed or consolidated bylaw, blah, 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 and it consolidates the new changes. So anyways, this is what the government wants us to do. So basically, we're asking through motion of council that bylaw 2026-03, consolidation, be provided with first reading, with second and third readings to come with the May 26, 2026 regular, because you may want to spend some time reviewing this.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any comments, questions?
So my first question is, I understand what you're doing. Is council involved in this? So if you make any changes, it still has to be brought to council prior to you doing any consolidating? Or are you just consolidating without council's approval?
Well, it's not really about approval, it's about notification. So grammatical errors, I can change that all by myself. I don't need grammatical errors, altering the paragraphs, altering the numbers, altering the bylaw number. If we're consolidating, we usually let you know. Because even a consolidation bylaw that refers to a land use bylaw still has to be signed and passed. So I can't make up consolidation bylaws by myself. But I can change the small things in a bylaw without...
You can't, yeah, in other words, you don't have to give it any more reading to
No.
change the
No.
grammar or whatever.
Well, say if you're making, the changes you're making are very cosmetic. Like, we still go back to the original bylaw if there's an issue there.
That is correct. Now, if we're changing, if we have to consolidate, let's say there's been a new law about land use planning that has to change, that now becomes a consolidation bylaw that's attached to the main land use bylaw. That consolidation bylaw I'll bring back to council because there's substantive changes.
Or if we were changing like fees and services.
That is correct. See, the fees and services bylaw, we were thinking about this. It's going to be awesome because we keep having to change the whole bylaw to fees and services now as it stands. Once this attains third reading, then it's a case of our change is paragraph 2(1)C consolidation, right? So, yeah. Makes it easier for sure.
That's what I was going to say. This just makes it, we have a little paragraph that we are going to insert in.
Yeah.
Or schedule, or.
Yeah, we're not going through the whole thing and rewriting it all.
It's saving a lot of time, and it was specifically designed really for land use bylaws, because their changes are astronomically large a lot of times when they have to do it. But then we started looking at a lot of bylaws with grammatical errors in them, sentence syntax wrong, maybe a definition that's wrong. Sometimes a severance clause would be wrong because it wasn't, you always run your severance clauses through legal. Once you have a severance clause, it's run by legal, it's the same severance clause for every bylaw. But what we're finding is every severance clause was different. So that would just be an easy consolidation. You do one and then you just consolidate the rest, right? So it just makes things easier and we don't have to have a ton of bylaws come through council where there's small things happening to them, right? We can save your energies for the big stuff. But if we're amending paragraphs, if we're amending the flavor of, or we have to change because of legal precedent, that has to come to you in the bylaw. But it still refers to the main one. So you're passing a consolidation bylaw, not amending the original bylaw.
One sort of says that here.
Yeah.
In the event of discrepancy between the consolidated bylaw
Yep.
and the original bylaw,
Yeah,
the original bylaw stands.
that's correct.
So you're not we're just giving you a little bit more leeway to not have to come back and change everything.
That's right, and allowing, your wishes through the council, Audrey, allowing council to look at the consolidation piece as opposed to having to sift through the whole bylaw.
Exactly.
Just makes it easier. Now, some we may not be able to do it. Look at the land use bylaw, and you're amending huge sections. No, it's just better off to do it in one, right? So that's what we're after. But anyway, this is the government guy saying you needed one. So we're just doing this, and this, with the exception of the municipal development plan, which Liz and I are working on, we have satisfied the requirements of the provincial map. Audit of our administration practices.
Any other questions, comments? Not? Motion to provide first reading for bylaw 2026-03 consolidation.
I'll motion for, oh, good.
In favor? That's carried. All right, 9.2, 2026-04, variance power increase in land use bylaw. So we really didn't decide what we were gonna do yet. Well, look at you though. First, just snuck in just the right time.
Almost like I could hear.
Oh.
Which I actually can, so I can talk.
So, I guess first question is, anybody want to make any comments on what we want to do with this? Do we want to go with the 20%, up to 25, 30? Let's go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and make comments.
I'm not going to repeat everything I said last time. I think there was a pretty fulsome discussion around it. I do want to just add that based on the discussion, I recommended 25.
Okay.
But I also added some context into some examples of where this comes in handy. And that is at the bottom, I don't know what page number it's on, never mind. There's a section called examples. And one example that we actually talked a little bit about was a business in a downtown. I used the daycare example where we couldn't approve it because there wasn't enough variance due to parking. I'm a firm believer when it comes to parking in a downtown in an existing area, you want the business there. That's what Main Street's for. The last thing we'd ever want is to say no to a development because, oh, you're a parking stall short, you can't have your restaurant in town. That's just not good business. Another example would be in irregular shaped lots. They exist. They're actually quite common in small towns. And we need to provide setbacks to meet fire code and building code, but there's often a rationale for a larger variance given the impact on adjacent neighbors might be minimal. An example is due to a large separation distance between existing structures, landscape or natural buffers. A homeowner, for example, could request a variance for a large deck. And if the property was directly abutting another house, the answer might be no. But if it's abutting a park or like a treated area, it might be, you know what, this actually does make sense because there's no privacy impacts, there's no safety concerns, and it doesn't really impact the neighborhood. So that's where that variance is used and that discretion. And another one is wheelchair ramps or other accessible features that may be required for homeowners. We actually had that here a number of years ago, and I was racking my brain on examples where somebody needed to add a wheelchair ramp and it didn't actually fit. And the problems with that, because of course we want people to be able to age in place or run a day home that maybe there's a kid with a disability that needs access and they need that ramp, or somebody just has surgery and they just have a wheelchair for 6 weeks. We want to be able to accommodate and have people in their homes. So that's just an example where the flexibility can be useful, and that the flexibility is really contextual. So just because somebody comes in and requests it doesn't mean they're going to get it by any means. And so that's all I have to add.
Okay, thank you. All right, questions, comments?
Do you not, let's say last time it was 40%?
No,
No, 25.
So there's a clause
up
in
to
the,
40%.
there's a clause in the bylaws that is one of the, it should be an attachment. Let me just quickly open up my other thing.
Does say furthermore, the bylaw already allows for up to 40% variance for older buildings.
So there was a 40% in there,
Yeah.
that's what I was asking.
And so that's for an older building. Thank you for reading that, you found it quicker than me. This is for somebody coming in with something new. So if somebody comes in and it's an older building and they're adding a wheelchair ramp, as an example, that 40% wouldn't work. That 40% is for that structure is there, it exists. So this would be about a new addition, a new build, and again, evaluating it on its own merit.
Kind of like a grandfathered in, right? Like the 40% is for things that are grandfathered in.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Grandfathered is legally non-conforming, and it's really strict regulations of the MGA, and you have to have had a development permit. What this is allowing us to do is go, okay, you didn't have a development permit,
But it's
but there's a process we can now go through to get you a permit.
Gotcha. Okay.
What we find is a lot of these houses that were built back in the day, they didn't bring a surveyor out to locate their corners. so they didn't build them on the lot properly, and so they don't match their permits if they even have a permit. And it's not to say that in 1929 they didn't get a permit, it's to say it wasn't kept.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't get one, but in order for the legally non-conforming clause to work in the MGA, you have to have that permit.
Gotcha.
So that's why that clause is a bit creative.
And put it there.
Can I ask an unrelated but related question? So if somebody wants to, say, build a deck onto their home, is it true that it says $750 just to apply for a permit? Because that didn't sound right to me.
No, the fee
Okay.
structure, Jesse can confirm the numbers, but it's, I believe the $750 is if you're coming in for an area structure plan, which is like what Morningstar is doing for their big
Okay,
application.
then it was a misunderstanding. I had
For a development permit, it's 70, and if it's discretionary, then it's like 100-ish, 120.
It's okay.
Yeah,
The simple
like-
question is, you were misinformed, call the office. That's all I'm gonna say.
Perfect.
Good. I'm good with that.
It's the best answer.
And the numbers are in line with other municipalities of this size. So we, every couple of years, we kind of do a scan of all of our neighboring municipalities and make sure our fee structures kind of
Kind of line up.
line up. And honestly, you're not making money off your development permit for a house or a deck or anything. It's more making sure that when people come in, they're serious about their applications.
Fair.
And because it does take staff time
Yeah.
and resources.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay,
I think one of the best, I think that I've seen, and maybe you have some too, but when I was working in Crow's Nest Pass, some of the best land files there are kept back well into the 1800s, even before Turtle Mountain crashed, because of the mines. And everybody, of course, lived in mine housing. And they have a huge library within the town office in a big vault where all these are. And it served us well when we had to do some development in Crow's Nest Pass, because the files, some of them were this thick. And you could go right back to the original survey that was all done by hand, basically, with tape measures and so forth way back then. And they have some of the best land files in the world with what we now call real property reports that were back then surveyed. And it saved a lot of arguments, which is kind of interesting.
What I'd say though is 99% of municipalities don't have that.
No, they don't.
Unless you were a mine or very specific where industry was driving the community in a different way. That history just doesn't exist.
That's right.
And you can go into any small town and I can't find permits from the 80s and 90s. Now everything's digital, and so to lose them would be fascinating how you would do that. Because they're also backed up, and right? So, our record keeping should be getting better, but I will say no more on that.
all right, thank you. Any other questions, comments from anybody? No? Okay, if not, can I get a motion to, let's see, where is it here? Recommend, first reading to, bylaw 2026-04, amendment to the land use bylaw to increase the maximum variance that may be granted by the development authority from 10 to 25%.
I have a motion that council give the first reading to bylaw 2026-04, amendment to the land use bylaw to amend the section 4.46 variance to 25%.
Thank you. All in favor? It's carried. There you go.
You have two more motions.
Yeah.
There's two more.
Go ahead.
Then there's, I will motion that the administration advertise bylaw 2026-04 amendment. Do you have to go through the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To amend section 4.46, variance authority to the land use bylaw, increase maximum variance that might be granted by the development of authority from 10 to 25%.
Thank you. All in favor? Okay.
Somebody else is up.
Then the last one.
I do want to note that I didn't put a date in there. We are thinking next month at your regular meeting. At the start of the meeting.
The 26th.
Yes, at the start of the meeting.
Okay,
whatever time that is.
yes.
Thank you.
Third motion.
Thanks. You want to go with it?
No, please go.
I'll move that administration hold a public hearing for bylaw 2026-04, amendment to the land use bylaw to amend section 4.46, variance authority of the land use bylaw to increase the maximum variance that may be granted by the development authority from 10% to 25%.
Councillor Munson,
Put the date in there,
and
May
May
26th.
2026.
For May 26th, 26th.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Does that change our meeting time then?
Carry. Done.
Will we
Finished,
do that
right?
before?
See you
Nothing
then.
else?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, Donna, carry that.
Will we do that, will that meeting happen before our meeting, like on the same day, just prior to, like we've done all the special meetings?
The public hearing.
The public hearing?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good jump.
yeah. We won't set a new date. It'll be ahead of our council meeting.
So we'll be starting at 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct, Councillor Rodriguez.
All right, well, thank you for that. All right, moving on to 9.3, bylaw 2026-05, boring ice floor replacement project. Who would like to talk about this one?
I will, yeah. Jesse gets it up. Oh, that's right, it's our report. Wrong one. Oh. Boring, Lila.
God.
Forgot this one is also you.
She was gonna speak tonight. But when you start.
That's Kyle.
Okay, so we're requesting, this is the borrowing bylaw for the, ice surface. So the town of Thorsby requires the borrowing of $250,000, which is what we had discussed when we approved the project, to cover the portion of the town's commitment to the ice floor replacement project, to which the total commitment by the town is $404,028, with the remaining, $154,028 funded from reserves. So the debenture will be over 10 years at an interest rate of 3.86%. The payments will be $15,186.09 semi-annually, with a total cost of borrowing of $53,721.80. So the Wooded County has graciously committed to the remaining $675,972, to which the town is appreciative for their contribution. So administration recommends through motion of council that bylaw 2026-05, borrowing ice floor replacement be provided first reading. The borrowing bylaw will then be advertised for 2 consecutive weeks, and then a required 15-day petition period must pass, and then it will return at the May 26, 2026 regular meeting for second and third readings. And then there's after that, there's a 30-day court. Yes, 30-day court period that we have to wait, because people can appeal it through the court. And then once that's done, then I can submit it to the government.
Okay.
So it's quite the process to get, funded.
A debenture.
But, on another note, I did get the cancellation of the debenture for the water treatment plant. It has been paid in full.
I would like to point out that this is the first adventure that we've had in, well, we didn't have one in our last administration at all. So,
Yeah.
something new for us.
We probably wouldn't have wanted this one either, but we didn't have any choice. Does this affect the taxes then? Like,
It will not this year, no.
thank you.
Will you be announcing about the water debenture?
Okay,
Yeah,
and just,
leave it public
The water.
debenture that
It's paid off.
paid off?
That we're,
Oh, yeah, we can put it in a
Yeah.
note or.
I think we should put a big thing in the paper.
Yeah.
Because people probably think we owe for 10 more years or something.
Yeah, no, it paid, March 15th was our last payment.
Yay.
And what was our total cost of borrowing, Cindy, on that water treatment?
Oh.
1.1?
I'd have to go get that debenture, it's in my office.
Most people think it's 11 million, right? It's not.
No, we borrowed $1 million.
That's what I mean. Most
Yeah.
people think we borrowed 11.
No.
Just one more comment before we ask for our first reading. So the Little County, I believe, at the end of this month, April 30th, they're gonna provide some funds on their part?
I invoiced them for $400,000, which is their first installment.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I just wanted to.
So hopefully it comes soon.
Okay. Well,
Is there a time limit on that when you invoice them?
Well, the contract, I think, said 30 days or something. They're usually really good. They're not.
No, I just mean for specifics, so.
Yeah.
okay, any other comments, questions from anybody? If not, can I get a motion for the first reading of, go ahead?
I'll just read it right here. Motion to request first reading of bylaw 2026-05 borrowing to cover the town's portion of the ice floor replacement project as approved by council at the February 16th meeting.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried.
I think about.
Okay.
It's right at the top.
All right. Moving right along here. Okay, 10.1.
Mr. Mayor, every time he's here to say that, I think of the Muppets moving right along. Do, 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 do. Every meeting, it's in my head, stuck there.
Councilor Allen, you got a question?
I'd just like to go back to the last one. So that's what's remaining in our reserves after,
No, that's what we're pulling out of reserve to
Okay,
pay.
so my-
We're taking $154,028
Out of the recreation.
reserve to cover our portion of the 404, because we're gonna debenture 250
okay, I got that, I understand that. What is that, roughly, what does that leave our reserves with,
for the rec center.
just in general?
Oh,
Two separate things.
it's two separate things. Our rec reserves right now is sitting at about 180. So we're taking 150, so it'll leave 25,000.
Okay, anything else? Okay, moving on then to 10.1, variance report.
Oh, which there is not one, because the Ceridian people still have not fixed their issue. I called them this morning again, and she has escalated it to a manager, and I should hear something in the next 24 to 48 hours. So what happens is, when I do payroll, I get a report, and it's the journal entry for me to enter the payroll. And the last two payrolls have had all zeros on the journal entry, and I'm like, well, I know people got paid, because I didn't get a phone call. So, so I'm just waiting for them to fix that, because without that, I have to,
You can't do it,
it
yeah.
would take me like 3 hours.
Okay, do you want a motion for anything there, Tom? Say it on. Just to defer?
Maybe to defer it to the May.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
The cow.
defer it to, committee of the whole in May.
okay, somebody like to make that motion?
I can make that motion.
All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Wow. Want to be able to watch the hockey game yet?
I don't know,
Do we want to?
I read, no, yes, we have to.
Okay, public comments at the back. Irene and Wendy, you guys have anything at the back?
I just don't understand why I come to a council meeting and I've got nothing to complain about.
Sorry to disappoint you.
We can send you a memo.
Well, we do appreciate you coming anyhow. So especially all the way from the
I know
news.
what's going on.
Maybe it's just like,
When do
that
we
could be the problem.
approve the, I thought it was supposed to be our April meeting. We were gonna approve budget.
No, May.
No, that's good.
Come to the May cow, and then we may or may not, because we have to do a special meeting for the debenture for the road. So I might bring the budget to that one too, so we can get the notices out earlier. Otherwise, it would be the end of May again.
Interesting, Wendy,
I can't talk any louder.
it's okay, very good. President Wendy just asked if we had a bylaw or a policy or a rule, to your words, Miss Wendy, that people who are emptying their pools, they're emptying them down the back alley instead of draining them probably to the storm sewer. It's an interesting question. We don't.
Question in our house, because it goes down the alley, and it takes a long time to get to that storm drain.
That's a lot of
It
water.
should be closer to pipe, for them to pipe it out front to the other drain that's in front of their house.
Well, number one,
Quarter one.
wouldn't you rather have it going to the storm drain properly than having, I don't know what people put in their pools, what people,
Exactly.
some people don't have in their pools. Chemicals, like it should just probably be going into our storage sewer rather than into other people's yards and down.
Well, it doesn't go anyone's yard, but it comes down.
But, no, but it's still getting into your soil and
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
Makes mud where if it went across their lawn to the thing out front, it wouldn't affect nobody. Bother anybody, right?
That's a really good suggestion. I know we don't have anything like that, and I've paid attention to pools, I'll be honest with you. But there's a few folks in town that have pools
And the
above
other
ground.
thing they do in the fall is the hot tub.
Yeah, and their hot tub, and they drain that.
Down.
And there's chemicals in the hot tub too, so.
Your worship and council, administrators will take that under advice and do some research, and we may come back with a bylaw.
Okay.
Well, that's a good question, thank you.
We'll leave it
Very
there.
good, very good question,
Well,
Wendy.
Robert's question, so.
Well, because I don't have any rules around these, so I think.
No, we cut a hole inside of it, and it flooded the whole front street, across over to the neighbors, like, it was so much water. Mike didn't expect it to be that much, and he got trapped. It was funny.
Okay.
Well, you think even ice rinks, to be honest with you. I know when we lived in Leduc, our neighbor had a big ice rink, and he drained it every year, and it was all in our yard.
Exactly.
Wrecked everything.
Mm.
Okay, I will keep you posted.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that, 'cause I'm not putting another pool in. We're done.
Okay, anything else? No? Okay, well, we'll take a 10-minute recess and we'll come back in closed session.
All right, go.